Good afternoon. Please be seated. Welcome to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, and thank you for being a part of the 215th commencement ceremony in our university's history. My name is Dr. Laura Reynolds, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Provost and Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Before we begin our ceremony, please take a moment to orient yourselves. The restroom and concessions are in the lobby from which you entered, and observe exit signs at the doors nearest you. In the unlikely case of an emergency, please listen for instructions and proceed to the exits. Additionally, please thank you in advance for making sure that both our first and our last graduates have the opportunity to be celebrated today, and that we minimize disruptions as we all get to cheer for our graduates. The commencement ceremonies are being recorded and will be available for on-demand viewing on the commencement website. Today is one of the most anticipated days of the year, both for our graduates and their family and friends, and for our campus. Today marks the culmination of years of hard work on the part of students and makes evident their perseverance through labs, late-night study sessions, cold mornings on the farm, and the construction lab, group projects, papers, and tests. Today, we see their growth. Today is a milestone for them. Congratulations to all the candidates today. To start today's ceremony, would you please stand if you are able and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem led by the Symphonic Wind Ensemble and Tasha Reynolds. Ensemble, very well done. I don't know how else to say it. One of the beautiful things about UW-Platteville is we have the kind of access to music, and that was lovely. Thank you. Today, our campus will celebrate the graduates of 3 colleges: the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, the College of Liberal Arts and Education, and the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, as well as of our graduate programs. During today's ceremony, we will hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, principal speaker, our university's chancellor. We'll recognize our honors graduates, and finally, we will get to what you're here for, which is to present the candidates for the awarding of the degree. So hang on, we'll get there. As a part of each commencement ceremony, we select a student to offer greetings and words of encouragement as a representative of the graduates. Today, it is my pleasure to welcome Jenna Mosley as our student speaker. Cue applause. Family can go wild. There you go. Jenna is from Beloit, Wisconsin, and is graduating with a bachelor's degree in marketing and a minor in human resource management. She has been, that's okay, you can clap. She has been a leader on campus, serving as president of the UW-Platteville chapter of the American Marketing Association, secretary and public relations chair of the Society of Human Resource Management, and president of both Alpha Lambda Delta and Phi Eta Sigma Honor Society. Whew. Please help me welcome Jenna Mosley.
Good afternoon, everyone, family, friends, faculty, and of course, the class of 2025. When I started writing this speech, I was told not to have AI generate it. Apparently, asking ChatGPT to write me something inspirational for the graduating class to make me sound smart and funny wasn't exactly what they meant by original work. Although, that got me thinking. AI could probably write me a decent speech, but it couldn't write my story or yours. As helpful as it can be, there are some things technology just can't capture. AI doesn't know what it felt like when we first arrived on campus, roaming around, trying to find all our classes, and pretending like we totally knew where everything was. AI doesn't know the nerves before a big presentation or the relief after finishing a tough exam. And AI definitely doesn't know what it's like to stand here today in this bittersweet moment, excited for what's next, but realizing life after college doesn't come with a syllabus. There are plenty of moments, big and small, that shaped our time here and made us who we are today. For me, a lot of those moments looked like this, starting with meeting my freshman year roommate. We didn't go random or have to DM each other using an absurd amount of exclamation points in every message. We met at student admitted day, and we were put in the same group. I remember complimenting her coat, and somehow that tiny moment turned into a lasting friendship. Another unexpected moment came when a guest speaker from the athletic department visiting the marketing club to talk about sports marketing. Joking or not, she said they needed a softball announcer, and with a little push from a friend, I actually applied. That split-second decision ended up becoming the fun fact I always share, and introduced me to my boss, who's become a role model and someone who shaped so much of my experience here. Then there were the moments that definitely kept me humble, like going to the Chancellor's house to collect canned goods on Halloween. After collecting her generous donation, I accidentally thanked her using her first name. I walked away thinking, why did I think I could say that? But maybe after today we can be on a first name basis. Studying abroad gave me a completely different kind of unplugged experience. Choosing not to purchase an international phone plan, I had no choice but to talk to people when there wasn't free Wi-Fi, which turned out to be the best thing that could have happened. Some of the friends I made across the pond are now people I can't imagine life without. And then there were the surprises, like the April 2025 hailstorm that gave all our cars a brand new custom design no one asked for. Whether you were in person, commuting, or online, you had your own versions of these moments too. We all learned things during our time at Platteville, like how to spot those suspicious dream job emails and other online scams, thanks to Deb Meyer. Let's hope none of us fall for that at our future jobs, because we all know what happens when we do. More security training. Of course, none of these moments would have been possible without the people supporting us. Thank you to my parents for letting me pursue all of my interests and cheering me on through every milestone. Thank you to my Oma and Opa for delaying their Arizona trip just to be here today. And a shout out to my brother, continuing the family tradition at Platteville. Watch out, everyone. We all have someone to thank today, but most of all, take a moment to thank yourself for showing up, for completing those discussion posts with 2 replies, and for doing whatever it took to get to this point. You made it here, and that's something to be proud of. And now, as we head into job interviews, new opportunities, or those awkward icebreakers, we're finally ready to answer the question everyone gets asked. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. If you asked me freshman year, my answer was simple. Hello, my name is Jenna, I'm majoring in marketing, and I'm from Beloit, Wisconsin. That was it. Short, safe, and to the point. Now, our answers mean more. They show our experiences, the connections we made, and the lessons we've learned. We've grown in ways no algorithm could ever fully understand because those moments belong to us. As we move forward, remember this. No AI, no prompt, and no perfect resume can tell the world who you are better than you can. So the next time someone asks you, tell me a little bit about yourself, stay true to who you are and remember how your time here at Platteville helped shape that story. Congratulations, class of 2025, we did it.
Well done, Jenna. Thank you so much for bringing those words and message to your classmates and to all of us. Next, it is my privilege to introduce our principal speaker today, UW alumnus Tim Herrick. Mr. Herrick earned a Bachelor's of Science in Industrial Technology from the UW-Platteville before building an extraordinary 42-year career with General Motors. His many leadership roles with GM included Vice President of Global Product Programs, Vice President of Enterprise Launch Specialists. His passion for developing others led him to create the Leader Foundry in 2015, a nonprofit organization dedicated to identifying and developing the next generation of leaders through scholarship, mentorship, and experiential learning. Please welcome Tim Herrick.
Most of that was true, but here's what is really true. I'm a Platteville grad, as you heard, so I'm going to wear this as I speak. Yeah, hey, the bookstore profits went up tenfold with Christmas gifts. All right, Jenna, that was a great speech. It's always hard to follow a rock star like that. Thank you very much, and our parents should be very proud, as well as all the parents should be very proud of their graduates today. And Jenna, when you're telling your story, it reminded me, I had a international assignment also. It was in Texas. And I say that if you haven't lived in Texas, go there. It is an international assignment. You can learn a lot. Probably not as much as you learned, but you can learn a lot. So I'd like to thank the Chancellor, the Provost, and the Dean for having me here today, and others here in the audience for having me today. This is a thrill of a lifetime for me. It's certainly in the top 10. But so thank you so much for allowing me to do this. Congratulations. I mean, look at you. Look at these graduates. I'm kind of glad I can't go back and try it again, because I think I'd have my ass handed to me by you. All right? I'd have to cheat. I'd have to use ChatGPT, and no, they didn't write my speech either. But I write it as I go. In fact, I added some to it from this morning. So congratulations, you guys look great. You're going to take on the world. I'm going to tell you how to do it, because there's a long time between now and happily ever after. It's in the movies. There'll be a happily ever after. But I'm going to talk to you about what leadership means. I call it pioneering leadership. All right? And I'll talk about CARVE, and I'll explain that a little bit. But I want to storytell you our way through it, and then I want to talk about that overall. Now, I live in Detroit currently. After I left Platteville, I was in Janesville, I was in Fort Wayne, I was in Detroit, my international assignment in Texas, then back to Detroit. So I've been around, I've traveled the world. And so they wouldn't get this story where I live right now. They'd get it, but not like you will. Vince Lombardi said that winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And you can look it up at ChatGPT. And he said, I didn't mean it, or I wished I would have never said it. Now, this part isn't exactly true, but give me a little leeway here. I think what he really meant was that leadership isn't everything, it's the only thing. It is the right thing, and after experience, this, there's at Loyola in Chicago, they have some T-shirts that I read, David Brooks, and it said that it works in practice, but does it work in theory? Hey, if this stuff works in practice, you don't have to worry about the theory, but it's in sound theory that I bring these things to you today. So pioneering leadership, that's the discussion. The right mindset, the right attitude. I work with Oakland University right now. I'm part of the Leader Foundry that you heard about, and we're starting up a Leadership Development Institute. And I get a chance to work with Dr. Michelle Hammond, and she came up with something. The Leader Foundry has a curriculum that we teach at local high schools in the Detroit area, and it's more than a TLA, which is a 3-letter acronym. It's a 5-letter acronym, and it's called CARVE. She came up with this based upon the Leader Foundry learnings, and it's C is collaborative. The most important, it transcends all of the others that I'm going to talk about. Adaptable is the A, reflective is the R, V is the visionary, E is the ethical. There have probably been 100,582, not true, books written about leadership. You should read them. Don't read them all. Read as many as you can. I'll talk about staying up to date and reading. But this is what my experience and my team's experience has come up with over time and working with Dr. Michelle Hammond that we've come up with. Okay? And so, graduates, you do not have to wait to incorporate leadership. You already have, and you have great leadership competencies. Be a steward of leadership your whole career, with your family, with your loved ones, with the people you work with. All right? You don't have to wait. Anytime, any level, and I'll address that. Now, there's going to be a quiz at the end. You know, I know your finals await you, but this is not going to be the only quiz that you're going to get. In my family, there's something that we say my kids understand it. If I say, do you know what time it is? They don't hesitate. They say, yeah, Dad, it's go time. So at the end, I'm going to ask you what time it is. I want you to scream out, it's go time, all right? And this will be on your permanent record if you don't, all right? So let's get started. Collaborative. As I talked about, collaborative cuts across many leadership principles, or if not all of them. The Provost talked about you didn't get here alone. The loved ones here that are watching you graduate, and the pride, I got a chance to talk to a bunch of them, the pride that they have. You didn't get here alone. And so remember that. I want you to think family. I want you to think team. I want you to think cross-functional and enterprise at all times. Now, there's something you know that I'm going to tell you that you tell yourself. You know it, but you probably don't tell yourself enough this. You do not know everything. That's why collaboration is the most important thing. I wish I would have learned it a little bit earlier in my career as I tried to do everything myself. And I probably got my ass handed to me a couple of times. And then I found out, and I knew, and I still know, I do not know everything. Rarely the smartest in the room, maybe never. All right? So remember that. Relationships matter. Of the 42 years I put in at General Motors, I have a lot of friends from that. A lot of things that I was able to do at the end of my career because I put time into my relationships when I collaborated. I worked with them, not against them. And I led them at sometimes, and sometimes they led me. You want to live longer? Trust first. Don't try to say, oh, you're wrong, or you, whatever. When somebody tells you something, go with trusting. Trust them first. Go with it. Later, they may find out that you can't trust them, but don't try to outsmart them. Just trust them and work with them. All right? That's collaborative. We'll hear more about that as I go through. Adaptable. Stuff happens. All right? Deal with it. Be appreciative of things that happen to you, good and bad. Like I talked about, this is a great thing for me today to come in here and be honored to be numbered among you and to wear a Platteville hat. But it's simply, it's just things that happen, good and bad. They mold you and they make you stronger. The good, bad, and the ugly will make you a better pioneer. Have situational awareness at all times. Read the room, look around corners, know where you're going, be adaptable. Ask yourself, am I gaining on the situation? What's next? If not, do I need to pivot? Do I need to double down? Do I need to stop? Do I need to rescope what I'm working on or what I'm doing or what my vision is? And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Have operational and situational awareness at all times. Know where you're standing, know what you're doing, know who you're presenting to. And read the room. You do it. You did it in class. You figured out what these fine professors wanted, and you gave that to them. Be vulnerable. I learned this later in my career. Don't armor up. All right? Be vulnerable. Let them know who you are. We'll talk about love later. Be humble. I would tell them I come from meager means. I went to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. It's an awesome place. You should know about it. But be humble. Don't tell them what you did. I know there was stuff written about me. Don't tell them what you did. Tell them what you're going to do and where you're going to lead them. Be curious, and I'm going to mention this later, but be curious about everything. I was driving through town last night, and I'm not the guy that, the old man that says, none of this was here when I was here. But as I drove through town, I know I just said it, and it wasn't. But I drove through town, I saw the old buildings, I saw the history. I remembered the great professors and those that taught me. And I thought, man, I should have been more curious. I should have gone to the mining museum. I should have gone to that park. I should have immersed and lived a little bit more. Be curious at all things that you do every day. And you know what? I would preach to my team, have fun. Have fun while you do it. You know, and don't take yourself too seriously. So if you're skiing with your boys out west at Winter Park, and they decide they want to go to karaoke that night, get over yourself. Write down a song, sing it, have a great time, show your family, show your loved ones that you can have fun too. Now this sounds like a pretty specific story. You don't have the video and you won't. Get over yourself, have fun, be humble, live life. Now's the time. Now it's go time. Reflective. I want you to check your progress. I want you to see where you are. What should I do? What should be my next best step? Did I miss something? Believe it or not, you're going to miss some things. Have those around you to help you point those things out. Do I need to change in direction? Be a lifelong learner and be curious. Learn from others and all leaders, some good and bad. I've had bad leaders in my life, and I've had fantastic leaders. And my kids get really upset at me when they'll call me and ask me some advice about their job, and they'll tell me what their leader did. I say, oh, man, you can't pay for this kind of education. What do you mean, Dad? It's like, yeah, you can learn as much from the bad ones as you can from the good ones. Soak it in and learn. And the good ones, make it part of your style, or learn from them. What do they do? What do they do well? And make it you, and you be you when you do it. Leaders are readers. Take in a lot of information. Read all those leadership books I talked about. But take in as much as you can. And be a better leader. And this is something, use this skill, if you would like, to become a better leader. It's what I do. I speak to myself in the first person every morning. Put it on your mirror if you want to. Tim, be a better leader today than yesterday. And I've had some pretty decent days. Maybe slightly above average as a leader, but this next day, I still tell me that. And I've had some really bad days. It's like, hey, think about it, reflect upon it. What are you not going to do the same? And be a better leader today. Pioneer leadership every day, because that's what you are. You are pioneers. The leader's not always have one person in charge. As I was coming up through the company, I was an engineer, but I could lead the team. And I had smart leaders that would get in behind me. Or as I was a leader and say, yeah, we're going to do what John wants to do, or we're going to do what Jenna wants, whatever she says, do what Jenna wants to do. Because she's leading this, and that's right. You don't have to be, you can be a servant leader. You can lead from the front, just lead. Be prepared for action each and every day. I'm going to tell you what that was like for me and what it's still like. Because I retired in July, and I still get up at 5 every morning, and I have a routine. For me, it was physical activity and is physical activity. I've run with the same person for 39 years, Rick. And Rick is awesome. We did a lot of collaborating on the road. When you have somebody you run with for 39 years, you don't need a therapist, okay? And I would stop and listen, and Rick's a little older than me. I can't run with him anymore. He's got a torn meniscus, but he will come out and walk with us. I listened to everything he said. Rick was the guy, and keep these people around you, that when he would talk, I would almost stop and just say, tell me the story, Rick. So collaborate and do that over time. And because you got to be the best you can be each and every day as you show up. This is how I did it. If it's meditation, playing guitar, reading, sleeping in, hitting the snooze. If that gets you ready, man, you get ready to go. But be prepared each and every day. You'll be surprised what it does for you. There's a saying: the harder I work, the better it gets for me. It's true. Visionary. Lead the team with the end in mind. That's not a new statement. I probably stole it from somebody. You could chat GPT and check it later. But keep the mission in front of you at all times and for everyone. Remind them and remind yourself of what the vision is. And so keep reminding them and reoccurring for that. This is for all situations. Not too big and not too small. Every situation. Whether you're working on a 1979 Scout, you're going to do a half Ironman or an Olympic event, keep that in front of yourself. Whatever you're going to do, have a vision for what you want to do. Keep that end in mind. And some of the proudest moments that I had when I kept the end in mind, I still think, I'll get goosebumps here. I did a few Ironman races, and the last one I did in Madison in 2013. My dad was there. And so as you're coming down and you hear, Tim Herrick, you are an Iron Man. I still get chills when I do it. Listen to those things and that vision that you want to do yourself. Find out what that is and think about that. I am a leader. I have completed this project. Think about that. Have that vision. Keep it simple. Complex kills. Keep it simple. Make it actionable. Because we got some ag grads in here, right? Probably grew up on the farm. Anybody come fix the implements for you or fix the farm stuff for you? No. You made it actionable. You fixed it yourself. You're self-sufficient. You're a pioneer. Pioneering leadership at all times. Be a decent storyteller. That's good. I got a chance to be sent to Stanford for a little bit for a class a cohort that we had. And the best class I took there was talking about storytelling. Be able to compel and get their vision and be able to tell a story. Ethical. All right, this might be the longest section. Yeah, I'll get done, but I'll try to hurry it up. Always do the right thing, even when it's hard, and even if it's your friend. Right? You're gonna have a lot of friends and meet a lot of friends. Be open, be honest, be consistent. When I left General Motors, they gave me a T-shirt, and it had all the sayings I guess I said. Right? That's what winning looks like. I wish I would have said that. And one of my favorite ones was, we had a guy, I worked with Jim Campbell, and he was my counterpart, and I'd say, well, and when an engineer would come in, they'd break something, they'd be nervous about asking you for money to fix it, because some of this stuff's expensive. Like, hey, so Jim Campbell can write a personal check for that. That's not a big deal. You settle them down, you get them going, you tell them, hey, this is going to be all right, and do it with integrity. Never, never, never. That's 3 of them, all right? 3 never, so listen up. Never, never, never tell them what you think they want to hear. You make your recommendation. You do you. You're pioneering leadership. You're a pioneer. You tell them not what they think they want to hear. You tell them what you are recommending each and every time. Don't forget it. In Dare to Lead, Brene Brown, you should read her stuff. She's a badass. She's really a great leader, and she's written about a lot of it. But she writes about, in 1940s, the leadership manual for the U.S. Army had the word love, I think this is true, 42 times in the leadership book. They talked about love. If the world's greatest army, if the galaxy's greatest army that I know about, it can talk about love, you can talk about love. Love your team, all right? Love your team. Because you're not going to grow a team, and you're not going to bring them all in, and, oh, I like them, I'm going to do this, and I love them already. Come on and do this. You're going to be handed it. Love them all. Love your team. Remember this, clear is kind. Clear is kind. If they do a good job, that's what winning looks like. You tell them that. If they do something else good, you tell them, man, I wish I would have said that. That's awesome. You're a leader. You're a pioneer. If they do something that's not that great and not up to a pioneer standard, you tell them, you coach them. You don't do it in public. You bring them aside. It's like, that wasn't your best work, and here's where maybe you could be better. But clear as kind. People just want to know where they stand with you, and where they stand with the organization, clear as kind. Never forget it. Might be the most important thing I'll say today. All right, so I'm talking about ethical, right? Listen up on this one. Your brand counts. When I would walk into a room or take on a new program, they knew who I was, not because I was the vice president or was this or was that, or a chief engineer or an engineer, but I had a brand. I'd done it over the number of years. You have a brand. When you sit in class of one of these professors, they have a brand, and you know what they're looking for, and you know what you're going to expect. You have a brand too, and you will continue to foster that brand all the way through. Secure it. That's your brand. Because when it comes to ethical, your brand can be destroyed in an instant. Don't do it. Be ready for it. Keep your brand very close. All right. Now, you can teach an old dog new tricks because you see me looking at my iPad. I gave somebody here a hard time about I was going to write my speech last night. I added to it as I walked around town. I've talked to some of the professors. I've talked to, I've seen the dean. I've talked to others. I've talked to people in the crowd, and so I've added a little bit to it. I wrote the bulk of it, don't get me wrong, over the last 72 hours. No, it's longer than that. All right, so here we go for the close. Paul Watzlawick said, and I wrote this down yesterday because it came up in conversation, you cannot not communicate. That's a double negative, right? So you know what I'm saying. Be authentic. I'm not saying put armor up, wear a polo, cover your tattoos, whatever. I'm not saying that. Be authentic. But know when you walk into a room and you talk to somebody or you wander up to one of the families that I met here, you cannot not communicate. Make sure you're communicating what you want and don't communicate something you don't want to say. You don't want to be misunderstood, so you cannot not communicate, right? It's impossible. It's written down. A wise professor said it. So just be aware and make sure you're not misunderstood. I started this out as think leadership first, but this is really pioneering leadership, all right? That's the theme. I said something earlier, do you want to live longer? I got another one for you. You want to live longer? Go for excellence in everything you do. You'll live longer that way. Perfection's a myth. No such thing. It may be written somewhere, but there's no such thing. Carve, C-A-R-V-E, carve your way to excellence in everything that you do. And it's your pace, it's your race. I said this morning, I'm going to say it again. I could beg you to not look at social media. I could beg you to get rid of that stuff. All right? Your pace, your race. You're doing this for you. Don't see what somebody else has, what they do, how they do it. They're highlight reels. Okay? Your pace, your race. You do it like a pioneer, and you're going to be just fine. In fact, you'll be great. All right? So go take on the world as a pioneer. Now here's where the quiz comes. All right? I'm going to say, what time is it? You're going to say it's go time. All right? So that you got the answer. These professors you never gave them the answers, did you? I just did. All right, here we go. All right, pioneers, let's listen up. What time is it?
It's go time.
It's awesome. It's go time. Lead as a pioneer, pioneering leadership. God bless. Good luck. Love you.
Thank you for that message for today's graduate. For those of you celebrating completing your degree, today you will become a part of a special group, that being the UW-Platteville alumna family. Today you join more than 60,000 graduates all across the globe, pioneers who earn diplomas and proudly call themselves pioneers and alumni of UW-Platteville, many of whom are at the ceremony today. I now call on all our UW-Platteville alumni here today to stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. Remember, once a pioneer, always a pioneer. Now it is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our next speaker, Chancellor Tammy Evetovich. Dr. Evetovich was named the 15th Chancellor of UW-Platteville in April of 2023, after serving as interim Chancellor for a year and Provost for 2 years. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Tammy Evetovich to greet and congratulate the graduates.
Good afternoon. You did better than they did this morning, let me say that. I am well aware I am the one person standing between what you really came here for. So as my dad would say, my dear, keep this short and sweet. Fair enough? Oh, somebody was going to clap there, right? To the graduating class, congratulations. Today marks a milestone, and we are proud to celebrate this achievement with you. I know you did not get here by accident. You are here because of your hard work, your perseverance, and your commitment. And to those loved ones out there, it's because of you as well. And so I'm just going to take a moment and have Jenna's family wave at me. Please, thank you. Thank you, Jenna's family, for everything that you've done for her. She's a remarkable young woman. I hope you take the time to reflect on how far you have come. And as you prepare to leave UW-Platteville and begin your next chapter, I want you to carry a few things with you, and I promise you this is going to be fast. First, remember this. This is not the end of your learning journey. In fact, it is just the beginning, and I hope you nurture that curiosity and desire for knowledge, because that is what brought you here in the first place. Secondly, see how quickly I'm going through this? Secondly, say yes more often than you say no. I would not be where I am at here today if I had kept saying no. I kept saying yes. Do you want to do this? Yes. Do you want to do this? Yes, I'll try it. Keep saying yes more than you say no. This may mean that you are preparing to be uncomfortable, but growth happens when we stretch ourselves. When we take on a new challenge or step into the unknown, it means you're being uncomfortable. You're getting that uncomfortable feeling, and that means you are growing. Third, and I see this a lot in you all, do not be afraid to make a decision. Make that decision and go. Too often we let fear of choosing wrong stop us from moving forward at all. But as long as you know your values, and that's an important piece, and you stick to them, you will find your way. And as you pursue your goals, do not forget to take care of yourselves. I always say prioritize your wellness, whether it's your emotional, physical, or spiritual wellness, and there's 8 dimensions. I could talk about them all. It is deeply connected to your ability to achieve your full professional potential. And finally, I want to leave you with one thought about perspective. When you face challenges or uncertainty, keep your perspective. I've learned that more in the last year than I ever have in my life. The ability to step back, refocus, and see the broader picture is a skill set. Perspective will not erase or diminish challenges, but it will help you face them with clarity and resilience. Perspective helps us discern what deserves our energy and what we can simply release. It reminds us that challenges, though real, are often temporary, and the progress does not always look like a straight line. So as you move forward, stay curious, stay courageous, keep your perspective, and please remember to come back and visit us. Stay in touch. Let us know you're coming back, whether it's next year, 5 years from now, or decades down the road. We will always be excited to hear from you, and we will always want to know where life has taken you. Once again, congratulations, graduates. You did it.
Thank you, Chancellor. As we begin our ceremony, please notice that today many of our graduates wear different colored stoles, cords, and pins, each of which denotes academic achievements, affinity groups, or clubs, organizations, and honor society participation by that graduate. These color stoles, cords, and pins also represent important aspects of the achievements of our graduates, their growth and participation in all aspects of our campus, and those are important to celebrate as well. I would like to call special attention to our graduates wearing gold honor cords today with their regalia. These cords are cords that are worn by students who have achieved academic honors. Those honors are also indicated by asterisks in the commencement program today. Now we would like to recognize them as a part of our ceremony. Will the individuals who are graduating magna cum laude please rise and remain standing? These students have earned grade point averages of 3.5 to 3.74. Congratulations to these graduates. Now, will students earning the highest academic honor and who are graduating summa cum laude please stand? That's right, these students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.75 and 4.0. Please join me again in congratulating these graduates. You may be seated. This is the part. Chancellor Evetovich, as Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and upon the recommendation of the university faculty, I hereby certify that, with the completion of the required curricula, the individuals standing before you are candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business Administration, and Bachelor of Science, and are entitled to receive their respective degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Without reservation, I recommend these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas.
Upon the recommendation by the faculty, with the certification of the Provost and Vice Chancellor, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the Universities of Wisconsin, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree earned together with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
That's the thing. Well done, but we've got more. Candidates, please stand. We have an additional important academic tradition for our bachelor's degree candidates before they cross the stage: the movement of the tassel. Traditionally, a student who has not been awarded a degree wears the tassel of their mortarboard on the right side. Once the degree is conferred, the tassel is moved to the left side, ever resting on the left over your heart. This change signals the graduate has joined the family of alumna. And in recognition of your status, we're going to count to 3, and you're going to move your tassel on your mortarboard. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Well done. You may be seated. As we begin awarding individual degrees, we highlight the need to show respect for our graduates and those seated near you. Everyone here is anxious to hear the name of their graduate. With that in mind, I ask you celebrate, and I mean it, when you hear the name of your graduate, but make sure that the family of the graduate right after yours can also have that opportunity and hear their student's name. Please do not use artificial noisemakers, and please do stay to celebrate each and every graduate, for those beginning and those at the end. Whether they are first or last in line, we want to all be here to celebrate. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Carolyn Keller, Interim Dean of the College of Bilsa, to greet the graduates, and Dr. Karen Stanley, Associate Professor of the School of Business, to read the names of our candidates.
Good afternoon. I am honored to be here as we celebrate your graduation. Chancellor Evetovich and Provost Reynolds, as Dean of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, I present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business Administration, or Bachelor of Science. Candidates, please begin to come forward.
Jenna R. Mosley. Anna Mary Allers. Devin Barnett. Madison Ray Berg. Tayden Maddie Bertrand. Hayden Robert Bingaman. Peyton Elizabeth Bloom. Eleanor Bootman. Kennedy Faith Bosch. Hannah Lynn Brandt. Jared Brewer. Taylor Brink. Ashton Bruce. Will Caesar. Jack T. Check. Riley Christensen. Cassandra Clint. Jesse Coleman. Nicholas Connolly. Casey Crane. Samuel C. Crocker. Vincent DeCooster. Summer Elizabeth DeGuire. Matthew Connor Dietrich. Abigail Elizabeth Deal. Brock Dornick. Logan Drone. Riley Dutton. Matthew R. Ayer. Brady No Elvers. Caden Erickson. Trevor Faith. Jacob D. Ferguson. Natalie Finley. Ben Foffel. Kendall Forehand. Elizabeth Kaylin Fossum. Kelby Fossum. Owen Monty Frito. Seth Isaac Gardner. Jake Allen Getke. Hayden Gregory Genske. Osner Gulson. Grace Francis Helly. Mitchell Bradley Hellenbrand. Emma Henningfeld. Riley Hill. Taylor Heimbo. Lauren Elizabeth Holverson. Emily Happy. Samantha Horning. Gage Curtis Hing. Quinn James. Brianna Janis. Simone Castine. Josh Kedzie. Cody H. Klein. Kyle Klein. Lane Koning. Isabel Louise Cruzy. Charles Laham. Isabella Lambert. Corina Larson. Zachary Albert Levere Lathrop. Isaiah Anthony Laufenberg. Nolan W. Lee. Mackenzie Lind. Alexandra Abigail Lipman. Brock Lashau. Ethan J. Lusk. Morgan Mack. Evan Michael Mandrell. Tyler Matley. Hannah Naomi Mon. Grace McConley. Samantha Alice McGuire. Lucas Meyer. Landon D. Miles. Alyssa R. Miller. Ariana J. Morga. Brendan Mosley. Gatlin Molnar. Rihanna C. Muir. Mason W. Musak. Bristol May Ogden. Trevor Olson. Kayla M. Pirquette. Alexander Plett. Blake Radke. Amelia E. Redlin. Ashley Renee Richard. Sydney L. Ryder. Carter Reason. Carson E. Roller. Brianna Nicole Ross. Maciej Richtarek. Chelsea Salinas. Braden M. Sheline. Clinton J. Sheline. Daniel J. Schultz. Dayton Schultz. Abigail Sennett. Maria Cerna. Abigail Hope Lee Shimniak. Natalie Louise Stengel. Zach Steckman. Dane Stelsil. Raekwon Timothy. Molly Dowdy Thelman. Emily G. Thomas. Nicole Marie Totsky. Emma Lane Tischer. Joseph Stephen Vogelsberg. Madison Victoria Vosberg. Caitlin L. Walls. Rory Marie Zakrzewski. Brooke Zilgas. Joseph Zwetler.
On behalf of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, congratulations, graduates. You've done it.
Thank you, Dean Keller. Putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, and much of that occurs behind the scenes. As is the case of so much we do, this is a team effort. Thank you to all those who participated in making today possible. The members of the Commencement Committee, led by Bridget Wallace, Commencement Marshal, Wayne Weber, Dr. Karen Stanley for making sure each graduate's name was heard, Symphonic Wind Ensemble, and our singer Tasha Reynolds for the wonderful music, information technology because we can't function without them now, and event services as well as our facility staff. For all those I just mentioned and those helping with the production of today's ceremony, would you rise for a round of applause? Thank you. It is a distinct honor to recognize this next group. Sitting in front of this stage is a group who has taught, advised, mentored, and so much more these students. I am constantly moved by the passion and dedication of our faculty and staff here at UW-Platteville. They do an exceptional job, and it's my privilege to work with them. Would you please help me say thank you to the faculty and staff? Would you all please rise? This is a great group of humans. Please be seated. This is one of the best parts, too. None of this would be possible, graduates. Look at me when I'm talking to you on this one. Without the people in the stands. The family and friends that have helped these graduates throughout their lives, who know them, who love them, who worry about them all the time, who have supported them to be sitting here today. You have lots of opportunities to thank these people today, but this is your first opportunity. Friends, family, will you stand and let your graduates applaud for you? Congratulations to you. That's what joy looks like, the look on the parents' and family's face. All right, we're getting there, I swear. As a final part of our celebration, we will join together in singing the alma mater. Now, if you are able, please stand and turn to the last page of your commencement program for the alma mater, led again by Tasha Reynolds.
Alma
requests as we prepare to close our ceremony and the graduates prepare to celebrate with family and friends. Please remain seated until the platform party and faculty have left the floor. Once the faculty have left, I will dismiss graduates to join family and friends. We ask you to spend a brief time celebrating here, and then please feel free to move to the Marquee Student Center, which is open for you since it's a little bit cold outside. Once again, congratulations to all the University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduates. Please begin the recessional.